We're going to create this simple background, which also includes adding some After Effects scripts to get this to move. To get started, I'm going to just throw out what's here. I'm going to start with a new composition. One way to create a new composition is to drag an asset to this icon. But by doing so, the composition is created the same size as the asset. Don't want that in this case, so I'll hit undo and I'll just click on new composition or Control N on the keyboard. This composition name will be background. Setting the width to 1920, height 1080, which is this preset at 29.97 frames per second, and this will be 30 seconds long. Clicking on OK. Now I'm going to drag this image down to the layer area, and this gives a little extra room around the graphic, and you'll see a little bit from now that when we use a distortion, the image is going to wave. And so if the composition is exactly the same size as the image, when this distortion happens, potentially the background could show through, which is something that you don't want. So it's always a good idea to use video clips that are a little bigger, and also images that are a little bigger. So this way, if you need to zoom in or if you need to apply effect that distorts the main image, you don't have to worry about leakage of the background onto that image. To colorize this, I'm going to go under Effects and Presets, pick Tint, T-I-N-T, and drag Tint, the color correction version of this, to my layer. For this color swatch, I'm going to pick blue. This is a quick way to colorize art. Next, to get the distortion, I'm going to look for Displace, and I'm going to use Turbulent Displacement. I'm going to drag it to the layer. If you look carefully, or if you rewind the video about, you'll see a jump in the imagery, and I could turn on or off the effect to apply and unapply that effect. Now, most stuff in After Effects you have to animate yourself, and rather than use a keyframe, I'm going to use evolution, and I'm just going to use a script to just continuously evolve this image. To create a keyframe, it would be just clicking the stopwatch and then animating these parameters across time. Instead, to add a line of code, hold down the Option key or Alt key if you're on a PC and click. When you click the stopwatch, you can see that the interface has changed into red, and down here, you can see there's a line of code. I'm going to replace this line of code by highlighting the whole thing and then typing in time, T-I-M-E, multiplied by, which is the Shift asterisk or Shift 8, and the number 100. And there's a distortion. If I want that distortion to happen quicker, I'll click within this space again, and let's say I had 1,000, and I'll click out here, and that's a lot of wobbling. So 100 is a little better. Next is the size of the distortion and the amount. The size is how big are these wobbling places. I'm just going to make it very light, maybe 11. And the amount will be the next one. So I'm going to pull down the amount too, and I'll play this again. And there's some motion happening, and that's all I was looking for this background. Next up, time to build a foreground element.